Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. We are the mob. Memphis Over Bull. Live every Wednesday, 6 p.m. Y'all know the routine. First order of business. Make sure if you're coming in, make sure you hit the like button. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the page. We need your support. Show our people how you support. Let's build a mob up and show them how we do things. Those of you who don't know, I am the custodian, Ryan Patterson, also known as Holiday. Many of you know. And today's topic, right? Does being poor lead to poor decisions? Right? Everyone, this is a very controversial topic because, man, we have examples of both, right? We have examples of people being very, very, very poor, or what we deem poor, and they're not breaking any crimes, doing anything harming any people, right? And then on the other hand, you have people who are struggling for whatever reason. Life hits them hard, and they usually fall, to crimes, robbery, stealing, smash and grab. But some people don't want to say the reasons behind these things. Some people use this as an excuse, right? Many of us haven't came up poor. We're all from Memphis. Most people that have watched this show are from Memphis or currently live in Memphis, right? And we know Memphis is considered a poor city, very poor city. Based off the statistics, we're the poorest city. Number one in poverty in the United States, number one in crime. So there seems to be some kind of parallel there, some kind of correlation, right? So that's the question. And my answer to that, I'll start first. I'll be the first to say that no, it does not lead to poor decisions being made. Life of poverty, being poor doesn't lead to poor decisions. A poor mentality, right? Feeling poor, feeling rich. Those are the things that matter. The mentality, right? Most people in America, the poorest person in America is richer than some of the richest person in a lot of these countries, right? So the main thing isn't about poverty, it isn't about rich or poor. It's about awareness. That is the word of the day. We're gonna get into clips. I know everybody wants me to talk about the Satanic School in Memphis, and I'll get to that. We have many topics. Morant, we'll get to that. But I digress. Yeah, it doesn't lead to poor decisions. So awareness is what I'm preaching today. All right, what's the point of being the strongest person, or being the fastest person, or being the smartest person, or being the most wealthiest person, or being whatever your well-being or whatever your talent is, if you're unaware of it? Because many of us are wealthy. All of us alive are rich. And I'm gonna get back to it in a minute, but I want to start because many of us love Bob Marley. And you're probably thinking, like, what? Well, this is a Memphis show. No, this is a Memphis show, but it's all about cleaning up Memphis and our mentality, right? So, I'm gonna start with a Bob Marley clip. Everybody come on in. Holla at your boy. It's the mob. We're streaming all over right now. Y'all show that love. But yeah, Bob Marley had the perfect mindset when it came to wealth. I think many people have seen this clip, but many haven't. We can't assume. We cannot assume. So let's get into it. Talk to him, Bob.
Have you made a lot of money out of your music?
Money. I mean, how much is a lot of money to you?
Yeah, that's a good question. Have you made, say, millions of dollars?
No.
Are you a rich man?
When you mean rich, what you mean?
Do you have a lot of possessions? A lot of money in the bank?
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life, forever.
So he is what many of you would have deemed wealthy, rich, famous, all of those things. But that didn't come to mind when he was asked, was he rich or poor? Everybody's rich. And that's why I think awareness is something that many people that come here, many migrants and immigrants come here from other countries, where a pair of shoes makes you rich in many eyes, or just having an extra pair of shoes rather makes you, puts you ahead of things. But in America, we always like to view others and base everything that we do off what another person has. So that comes to the smash and grab. So we're gonna get into this. I just want to start that off. I didn't agree with it. I don't think it leads to poor decisions being made. I think like I said, being unaware of oneself, to know oneself, like I always say, is a very, very valuable thing. So they caught I want to talk about this, and that's leading to this 15-year-old that they recently picked up. And it's a very concerning story, because he had a lot on him, right? All right. And he has a long history of things. I'll let you all see the clip. Check us out.
A 15-year-old boy is under arrest accused of breaking into cars and stealing weapons. The Shelby County Sheriff's Office seized 10 handguns, 2 rifles, ammo, key fobs to vehicles at the teen's home in Oak Haven. They say he was involved in auto burglaries at the Holiday Inn on Centennial Drive, the Ag Center, and the Butcher Shop restaurant. The teen already had existing warrants for theft of property from July. At least 3 of the guns recovered were stolen, along with the car.
Let's get back. So what was his reasoning behind doing this? Or do we even care? It's just a bad decision being made. You know what he was doing with the guns. He had them for sale. Because, well, mentality, he wasn't happy with who he was already. Many of us aren't happy with who we are already, right? Like I said, migrants come from contaminated water, abuse, neglect, malnourishment, all of these things. And yet and still, one second. Yet and still, what do we have? We have an unaware city of people. We have unaware people who don't understand that they're rich. We have to teach the mentality. So like I said, many people have come at me being upset with the outcry of this little school that's here of a program. It's not even a school, I'm sorry, of a program entering the school, and there's been an outcry about it, right? And there was a clip on the news. It was the clip was so long that I'm not going to even share it on the mob because it'll take up half the show. But it was a bunch of sisters from the church, and they were preaching about the outcry of things that's going on. But people, do we understand that when we protest things like this and we don't protest other things, it shows our focus? Why does this make our radar when we have so many other issues to fix in this city, right? As a custodian of Memphis, I didn't even get a call to clean that mess up. It is so many messes to clean up in this city that didn't even make my radar really. That is just, but I think this is the focus of where we're going. Like other people from other places and other, cultures, they see that and they see that as an outcry. You're worried about someone using their freedom of speech, but that's not what we need. What we need, the energy we need from our people and our sisters, right? And the older generation. It's not just man thing, it's not just woman thing, but I have admiration for this. This is a technique that we need to use to talk to the youth. And this video, you won't really see it anywhere else, but it is very deep, man. It is very deep. Once again, everybody coming in, watching live, you're watching after this, you're watching on your phone. Make sure you hit the like button and hit the share and share the mob. Memphis Over Bull live every 6 p.m. as you all can see. Anyway, let's get to this clip. Check this out. These are very, if you don't watch anything else in this show, we're 15, 14 minutes in. Make sure that you keep this one with you.
You were able to name a whole lot of women at one time. What? Sexy Red? Who else? Ice Spice? Who else? Cardi B? Right?
All right. I think I got to let it load.
Okay. Ruby, all of these people. When I asked you to give me a list of women that you respect, what was the main name you said?
Mom.
There's an imbalance there. If you can name off 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 women that have an influence over your life, have your attention and focus, but there's only one woman who you respect, the main person, maybe that's mom or big mama or auntie, that's the imbalance. Because reality is you only spend so much time with your mom or your big mama or auntie, but I guarantee you Sexy Red and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj and everybody else gets your attention a whole lot more than they do. Why? Because they got them jiggly parts, right? Let's just talk about it. That's the first thing you said, they be shaking their booty, right? Right? If you can't even talk about a woman's body without breaking down and giggling like a little boy, that means we have some discussions to make. Because your energy and focus goes on them, but when it's time for somebody, an actual real-bodied woman to get in your face, and it's difficult to talk about it, that's what my job is today, is to help you to mature a little bit when you're dealing with the subject of women. But it can't stop there. You see hella toxic relationships all the time. What are some of the shows? What do you think when you see all these toxic relationships going viral, they become popular, they become famous, they even get money because they can brand things? How you feel when you see that?
It's crazy.
Okay, go for it.
Also, watch what she says about hitting the like button or even commenting or laughing at it or even just paying attention to these things that come across your timeline, right? It feeds into the algorithm that we talked about already. Same with our city and the portrayal of Memphis. What gets lost in all of these things when you share these things are the good people, are the good kids. It's the funding for the good kids, for the good people. You lose all of this. All of these things get lost in sharing the nonsense and the ignorance. So you know the quote, the hashtag is stop sharing ignorance. Start fixing it. Sharing is not fixing it.
When I see stuff like that on social media, I'm gonna be honest, I do think it's funny.
And this is where it's at. When you laugh at it, even though you know it's not right, you're still condoning it. If she carries herself disrespectfully, what do you do then? Okay, that's where I want to check you. So when you're dealing with young ladies and you know, I know, like you said, I know that that's wrong, but if you're still entertaining it and laughing at it, that's not the righteous thing to do. Because once you give them that like, once you give them that attention, once you give them that energy, you're saying continue to do it. So it goes against your inner compass if you're saying, oh, all this data, right? Bitch, right? Leaving them on scene. Oh, not responding, ghosting them, right? Calling them ugly, hitting them, talking over them, being defiant, talking trash, talking about them to their friend, putting them down more than they already are down themselves. These are the behaviors that you called yourself on. I didn't say this to you. You checked yourself. And a part of today is being young man enough to check yourself and recognize the areas that are not truthful, that are not fair, that are not righteous. And if you find yourself doing that, you got to check yourself and say, that's not for the healthy, higher good of that person. That's not for the healthy, higher good of me to even behave that way. Anytime you're in a situation where you see yourself acting in these ways, are you proud of this? Yes or no? Does it feel good to have to bust yourself on this? Yes or no? I can't hear you. Yes or no?
No.
When you
I think many people assume that this is the training that you, or the teaching that many young people get in the home, right? I think many people think this is the teaching that they get in the home. And many kids don't have this. Because if many kids did, we wouldn't experience the things that we experience right now, or we wouldn't witness many things that we're witnessing.
When you find yourself acting in these ways towards the women in your life, your friends, your girlfriends, your aunties, your cousins, your sisters, your moms, you go back before they have to check you, and you check yourself and you say, you know what, I wasn't being fair. Let me make that right. I apologize. What?
True.
What?
Justice.
What?
Righteousness.
Stand up. What's a word of affirmation? Practice on auntie. What's a word of affirmation you got? Show me some respect. Beautiful. What else? Anybody got something else? Thank you. It is true. I look great today. How does my energy feel? I want you to get the practice of understanding that affirming a woman is not always about how she looks. What about my energy?
Believe in yourself.
Believe in myself. What else?
Strong.
Huh?
Strong.
I'm strong. I'm powerful. What else?
Persistent.
You know how to say and compliment a woman without it being about her body. Practice that some more. Because if you only giving compliments to her booty and her breasts and how her hair looks, that's what she's going to value.
Can the church say amen? It's all about, we always get mad like, all they care about is just getting the hair done, man. All they care about is how their ass look in the mirror. That's because that's all you care about. You play a role in this as well. We always want to point the finger, try to figure out why are people like this? Because they're wired for response and how people react to it. And most of our community only care about that, what she says. So if that's the only thing you focus on, it's how she looks. So why even try to read a book or even show you that I have more to offer? This is all you care about. And that's why we have many, many broken homes. We have to learn these things. These young men know how to value women coming from a woman. It's great teaching right here.
She is more than just a physical being. She is also things on the inside. In the event that women are disrespectful.
All right. I thought that was great. Want to show somebody that, tell somebody that, take that back. You got some young men, you have some problems with them out of that. They don't really understand that. You'd be surprised. You'll be surprised. Why isn't this video going viral? We know. I always ask that. I ask that every week. Shouldn't this video be viral, yo? Chat mob, holler at me. Shouldn't this video be viral? Is it not needed to be heard? Or it's all about awareness. Many are unaware of what's needed or the role that they play or the influence they have or what to do with the influence. It's all about awareness. So, are you aware that you're not poor? Do you even know what poor is? Do you even know what poverty is? All right, let's see. All right. Let's go read a couple of comments. Shout out Gorilla Motive. I see you, bro. I see you. Got the gorilla in the building. Gorilla me, y'all see me rocking the gear a few times. Y'all go holler at D Rich. We are the products of our environment. Right, but are you aware of your environment? Are you aware of the environment that you are? We're in a land of opportunity, right? That's why I said many migrants come here, and I think it's an advantage. I think it's an advantage because they don't value the things that we value. Ignorant people know the price of everything, and they know the value of nothing. Nothing. So what do you value? Shoes. We could go and I'll tell you this, the mindset of many of the youth here, right? Not all of them, because we always say all of these young people are, no, it's not all of them, you know. It was one group of people that did the little smash and grab ring. It was 5 people. 5 people. But nevertheless, it was our people. And it's something that we need to focus on because they're not aware of how that affects everybody in the community. They're just thinking about getting the bag. They don't understand how that makes everything difficult for them, right? And for everyone that looks like them. But the smash and grab, bro, that's just people not valuing the wrong things. And most smash and grabs, they're doing the GameStops, They're doing the shoe stores. They're doing Walmarts. They're doing Family Dollars. It's like, come on, where's your mindset? But the thing about it now, not to play devil's advocate, but I am for a second. I thought America celebrated heists, bank robbers, Billy the Kid. So to Bonnie and Clyde. Several movies made about them. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Several movies made about Bonnie and Clyde. Give me 1 second, everybody. Yeah, several movies made about Bonnie and Clyde, right? No problem whatsoever. So America's built on that. We love a good story, a good criminal. The Gambino family, Al Capone. Don't get me started. And as history goes, lots of stolen land, lots of blood being shed on this source. So let's not just make it like we don't like a little action here and there. Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, that puts a mentality in the youth. These kids grew up watching these movies, and you grew up, you showed it to them, you showed them that you love it. You love a good George Clooney movie. Those people are criminals, everybody. Believe it or not. Oh, they wear nice suits. How many bank heist movies have you all seen in your lifetime? What was the one with T.I. and Idris Elba and all those, Chris Brown? Takers. You don't think that influenced anybody. All right, so be it though. But that, when you watch Takers, you're not watching it like, why are they robbing that bank? Why are they stealing that money? They should go and get a job. No, you're not thinking that. You're in full support of it. You love the movie. Right, so it's like social engineering, exactly. Rap music along with it, right. So it's not just rap music, because they put rap music on our people because we created, but even though we created a lot of things, most things, they're gonna always associate us with the negative. All right, so like I said, many migrants have an advantage over us because they don't value it. They understand. It's all about the family. It's all about the culture. Now, but what poverty does hurt, right? It affects the schools. Did you all know that depending on what neighborhood your school is in, and the taxes being paid and made by that area depends on the funding for the school. And many Black schools receive less funding. I believe, and that's just within schools. That's in city schools, right? County schools or whatnot. And TSU, now this is a college, but ironically, TSU falls under that too. TSU is owed $2.1 billion by the state of Tennessee that they owe money and just kept from them. I wonder why. But if I give you all these facts, many of you probably may think I'm making an excuse. It's like, well, he's just making excuses. No, it's 2023 holiday. Come on. No one's doing that anymore. But yes, the proof is in the pudding. Right? So this was an investigation done by CBS. And it wasn't the local news. I know we share a lot of clips, but this affects us. It affects our community because it's about all predominantly Black cities and what's going on with the education. Like I said, everyone's upset about the School of Satan after school program. But you know that a lot of these kids can't read. They can't multiply, divide, add. You're worried about an after school program that people have to sign up for. Yeah. But check this out. This is very important clip. Because I don't think many people know about this.
Public education is supposed to be equal in this country, a ruling that goes all the way back to the Supreme Court in 1954, Brown versus Board of Education. But nearly 70 years later, here we are, and many schools still fall short. And most of those schools are in cities or areas where people of color make up the majority. An investigation by CBS News.
I wonder why. It's 2023. Nobody cares about that. I wonder how schools still being targeted. Brown versus the Board of Education was ages ago. We shouldn't still have these issues, but things get uncovered. Many things that affect us don't get a response and immediate fixing until 50 years later. They acknowledge it then. So while it's happening now, it's up to us to figure these things out, because the United States and the powers that be will only acknowledge this for the next generation, even though as if it didn't affect them already. Anyway, so this is already documented and known that many black schools don't receive funding. He said it, not me.
News and CBS stations found that one reason for this is, well, many states give more money to wealthier majority white school districts to improve their school buildings. CBS station's national investigative correspondent Stephen Stock looks at the funding gap and one state's effort to fix it.
But it's cold, so how can I focus? Can you please talk to the school to fix the toilets and to fix the building?
Those are the words of children who spend long days inside Baltimore's aging city schools.
They're not fixing our school buildings, but they will fix white people's school buildings.
Dr. Richard.
That's a quote from a child. That is a quote from a child. That's probably something he heard, picked up, but it could be something he witnessed firsthand, right? What does that do to his thinking when he becomes an adult? You go to a school that didn't even have air conditioning, right?
Richard Lofton reads student testimonials he gathered as part of his research project documenting the impact of crumbling campuses.
So you're saying the second floor is hotter than this floor?
Like Baltimore's Franklin High.
Wow. And I hope the people who are making decisions about education actually come into these schools and walk around and see what we've seen.
So I have to tell you, when I walk down this, I feel like I'm in a prison.
I know, right? Doesn't it? Why would your kids want to come here when it looks like you're in a prison?
Baltimore City School.
I wonder why school looks like a prison. It was designed that way, man. Come on, bro. Let's cut it, man.
School's facilities director, Cindy Smith, gave us a tour of Franklin High.
No AC, you can feel it.
So this is a floor that's actually collapsing. Look along the wall. You can see it's dropped 2, maybe even 3 inches. This, folks, is an actual lab for high school students. People attend lab in this classroom.
We have a typical classroom, tack boards that are a mess, casework that needs to be replaced.
Why can't the school district do better?
Because we don't have enough money for it.
Across the country, our CBS stations found deteriorating schools in high poverty districts. In Colorado, rotting windows and damaged ceilings are part of that state's $17 billion need for repairs. In Florida, walkways riddled with leaks, exposed rusty nails. And outside Los Angeles, a water polo team practices in a decaying 70-year-old pool.
So this is impacting your grades?
Yes.
Don't forget, we shared the clip of Peabody. I think it's Peabody Elementary. And they were going through the same thing. There's mildew all in the schools, right? So just keep that in mind. And we all know, like I said, many of us went to school here. We know the conditions of the school. We know there's some hot schools in Memphis right now. And with some cold schools as well, right? There's a lot of things going on. It's the reason behind it, though.
Yes.
And your future.
Yes.
Schools in high poverty communities have less to spend from local property taxes. Our analysis found they invested on average 40% less in buildings than districts with low poverty. We also discovered many state governments make the disparity worse, putting more money towards booming districts that can be less diverse. Federal data shows that on average, these states give majority white school districts almost 4 times more money for capital investments than majority black districts.
For decades, Baltimore has been
But we worried about an after-school program. All right, okay. I'll get to that. I got more on that.
disinvested. There have not been the same levels of investment in a city that is majority black than in the rest of the state.
Johns Hopkins public health professor Josh Sharfstein says the funding inequity stems from generations of racial discrimination.
The consequences of that are physically manifest in school buildings.
Maryland recognized that. Now, it's targeting funding to schools most in need.
We are investing in a more equitable system across the state of Maryland than almost any other state in the country.
Lawmakers did that by targeting $400 million for building and repairing schools in lower income and minority school districts, paid for in part.
All right, it's always, let's repair it. Let's fix it. We've given funding to fix it. How long has that been the mindset? We're going to fix it. It's their way of acknowledging I broke it, right? It's like your parents abusing you and giving you money to fix it. I mean, how about, and then they go on and you go on to do it to your children and you give them money, but it's just a reoccurring problem. How about we stop doing it? How about we acknowledge that it shouldn't happen in the first place? This is not something new. These things were kind of new in the 50s and 60s, right? It's 2023. How are schools not receiving the right amount of funding because they're predominantly black schools in 2023? It's because of our awareness. Are we aware of what's going on? Do we care? We have all these distractions. Y'all ask me about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith. When you care about these things, and we all have children and grandchildren in school. But yeah, I don't want to be a downer. I'm just being real with you.
In part by taking excess property taxes from wealthier districts and giving it to poorer districts, and by a sales tax on digital products like streaming and music.
Absolutely, Maryland has to do more, and we will, and we have, and we will. The plan that we've put forward is the next 10 years.
Their 10-year plan won't come in time for the kids at Franklin High. You can't even drink the water there.
Wait, that just blows my mind.
I know, right? Many of our pipes are so deteriorated that lead flows through that water, so that water is not drinkable.
So you can't drink the water.
Cannot drink the water.
For CBS Mornings, I'm investigative correspondent Stephen Stock, Baltimore.
So he leaves us with a very jaw-dropping.
Very jaw-dropping. Can't even drink the water in your school. Predominantly black school. Not Memphis. Trust me, it's going on. The same mentality is going on in Memphis. The same agenda is being pushed. And I'm not saying, hey, that's a reason not to know how to read, because I already said educate yourself so you educate your own children. So if they know how to read at home, they understand the conditions, they're aware that they need to know how to read, and understanding that the value of an education is ongoing. You can't do anything without these abilities, right? And if you do possess the ability to read well, add well, and all these things, it's countless. You can teach yourself a lot of things. And I'm proof of that. A lot of these things I know I do, I didn't go to school for. I did go to college, but I didn't. I don't have a degree in certain things, but I understand how to research things, how to learn objectives, set goals. That's just something that we need to preach. We need to teach our kids. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That is my main point. All right, so yeah, those schools should be shut down. Those schools should be. Now, that's what the community should come together for. Like I said, I keep touching on this after school program, but I'm on there because maybe I'm talking about it without people really understanding or really knowing what took place, right? Maybe I should just tell you all or let you all see for yourself. But that last story was, that's mind-blowing. So with that, I mean, what does that do to a kid that comes to school in under those kind of conditions? What is it shaping them for? What kind of mindset? All right, so let's get to the school of Satan or whatever that is. Ooh, Satan. You just say Satan around black people and it's just, you want protest? Say Satan. You want an outcry? Say the word. We have bigger issues. I'll get to it.
A new after-school club has parents of Memphis Shelby County School students concerned after learning the club is sponsored by the Satanic Temple. Hello, I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg is off tonight, but the club's director says they have every right to operate just like any other club. WREG's Ashley Paul breaks it all down for us. Ashley?
Steph, the after-school Satan Club will launch at Chimney Rock Elementary School in Cordova next month, despite concerns from parents. And according to district leaders, there's not much they can do about it.
We don't want God in schools. We definitely don't need or want Satan in schools.
Parents of students at Chimney Rock Elementary School alarmed and concerned today after this flyer began making the rounds announcing a new after-school club.
Me and my whole family, we attend church, so this was a big shocker for me for this to be coming to my daughter's school.
Beginning January 10th, the after-school Satan Club, sponsored by the Satanic Temple, will begin meeting at the school's library. It's the organization's 5th active club in the nation, and campaign director June Everett says it started after she was contacted by MSC as parents expressing interest.
Members of the Satanic Temple are non-theistic Satanists, so they don't believe in an actual real Satan.
Everett explains the club can only operate in schools that have other religious clubs so like-minded people can come together. She says they don't actually discuss satanic teachings, but they do activities that are inspired by satanic beliefs.
We can take Satan and view Satan and this creature and this, character however we'd like. We don't have to believe Satan as this evil deity.
A statement from Memphis Shelby County Schools reads in part, quote, "As a public school district, we're committed to upholding the principles of the First Amendment, which guarantees equal access to all nonprofit organizations seeking to use our facilities after school hours. This means..."
Okay, you see, this is another example of us not understanding our rights. Us not understanding the amendment, the Constitution, and all these things. And things that even myself, I have to update myself. I have to learn more. I have to reevaluate things because we're still learning. We're still figuring things out. But, yeah, they're just exercising their rights. What we don't do. So we agree when we see others who use these policies and then use these laws for their own gain, and we don't. I never get upset with that. The only thing I'm upset with is we don't use these laws for ourselves, for our own agenda, for our own people. Why not? But there's an outcry when we see others pushing their own. I mean, this really, I don't give a damn about. My son won't be attending this because I know what my kids are. I mean, not kids. I have one son. But I know what my son is. I know what my child is. And you should know where yours, you should know what they're doing. You should know what they're into. Who signs up for this program unless their parents is pushing. It's an elementary school, after school program. So, I mean, I guess many people that go to this that are in, Collierville are Satanists. I don't care. I don't care. Neither should you. This is my opinion.
Means we cannot approve or deny an organization's request based solely on its viewpoints or beliefs, end quote. But parents like Dennis say they still aren't comfortable.
I feel that if possible, maybe a community center or something like that would be more fit. I don't feel that it should be in the scene where they learn. If they don't want prayer in schools, they shouldn't have this Satan Club.
Now, some parents we spoke with discussed the possibility of removing their children from the district because of this. Meanwhile, as the school mentioned, the club is protected under the First Amendment, so the school must allow it to move forward. Reporting live, I'm Ashley Paul, WREG News, Channel 3.
And so is the KKK, so many other organizations. Like I said, we should be pushing our own agenda. If you can get this program in schools, why don't we have better programs for our kids? They obviously have an agenda that they're pushing. I don't give a damn what it is. It doesn't pertain to me or mine. There are many agendas being pushed in the United States every day in Memphis. I don't care. We should only care about our own. This is something you have to sign up for. When we got problems that are being forced on many kids, and many of us don't even have a choice, but somebody else is making the choice for us. This is something you have a right to do. When we hear Satan, they get us. You'd be surprised at how many people, with all the movies that you watch and all the entertainers that you play, they are Satanists as well. Believe it or not, many of these people don't believe in what you believe in. So, I mean, it shouldn't matter to you. Let them push their agenda. We make our agenda stronger. We make what we're doing stronger. We make our kids more aware of what they're doing and who they are. Right. Yeah, it is an elementary school. Yep, and it's an elementary school. Yeah, you go to the kids, you know, they understand the value of the youth. Whoever this is, I'm not, when I say they, whoever it is, the Satanists, they have an agenda. And I wonder, why can't we get a black, can you imagine we had like a Black Panther party for after school program? Why can't we do after school Black Panther party? Too aggressive. Some of you all think that Black Panthers were too militant, too aggressive. Have you seen, Memphis is a gritty city. The softness is not going to work here. But yeah, why not have, you know, do you think they allow the Nation of Islam to have that? I would love the nation to have an after-school program to teach our youth. In the elementaries, in the middle schools, but somebody might say something about that. We don't need, he's teaching Allah. We're about God. Come on, man. The nation has been proven to help our people. We reject that. So let's just push our own agenda. Push our own agenda. And I got an example. See, this is what I want. See, I don't care. Spirituality, we never focus on it here. It'll be something we talk about. We have churches on each corner in Memphis. What has it really done? We have churches on every corner. There's a church across the street from another church. My brother and I were talking about it last week. We were like, this church is facing another church, right? And then 2 blocks, 2 houses down is another church. So, I mean, that's their right to do, right? People have the right to go in. People have the right to not to go elsewhere. It's your choice. So, I mean, who's joining it? This is my thing, though. So, instead of that, I would like this to be used in school, in elementary schools, middle schools, whatever. It's called coding, computer coding. It's a thing of the future. Sister, a black woman invented a toy or a tool to teach kids coding, something that's not being taught in our schools right now. She invented a coding device. You ain't gonna hear about this, you know that. But a coding device, that's the future. Oh, where's my video? There's a wave of the future. So that's being taught in private schools, all right? She invented the code. Check this out. So I would like kids to use this. Can we get a club and to bring this in so kids can learn how to use this? Because I'm buying it for my kid. Even though I think it's for ages 3 and above. But if he can learn coding at 3 years old, imagine the possibilities.
Released a coding robot that teaches children as young as 3 years old how to code.
Okay, I got a 5-year-old, so how?
Load up. Okay, it's pretty. I don't know. You know, they on the powers that be. They don't want this. I want this information getting out. Get us some support. Come on now.
Release a coding
Like,
robot.
for some reason, of all clips, and this is a very short clip. But yeah, anyway, she created a coding robot for kids 3 years, as young as 3 years old, right? To teach them computer coding. That's what we need in schools. That's something you push for. And it's important now. It checks so many boxes, but you will have to be aware that she invented this in order for you to even know about it. So are we aware that we have many of our own inventing great things for kids? That education, man. Education. Coding may not mean much to you, but trust me, someone's gonna have to run these computers. And someone is doing the coding at Walmart, at the auto checkout line. Someone's doing the coding on the website I'm using on YouTube. Someone's doing the coding at Facebook. But you probably don't know about coding. Maybe you should. Maybe you should learn more about it, because educate yourself, educate ourselves, so we educate our children. Y'all think they're gonna let the clip play or not?
That teaches children as young as 3 years old how to code.
Okay, I got a 5-year-old, so how we get started?
So there are 3 different modes for the coding robot. One of the first and easiest modes, I say as easy as 3 years old can start, is the push button programming. And what it does is it's basically teaching kids algorithms and how to tell the computer what to do. So going forward, backwards, left and right, following your instructions. The second step is I have puzzle pieces that are floor puzzle pieces. When you put the coding robot on top of the puzzle pieces, it follows the steps. If you mistakenly put a puzzle piece in the wrong way, it'll give you positive feedback like, well, no, that was wrong, try again. Or if you get it, it'll tell you like you're awesome. And then the third step is I have a coding app where kids can actually go in and program and tell it what to do. In the app, control the expressions and everything like that.
You're so amazing. Tell the people where we can find you on social media.
Alrighty, my name is Tirsa Ridgway, and you can find me on all social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, at Tirsa, T-E-R-Y-S-A, solves it, and on my website, www.tirsasolvesit.com.
There you go. Just get you a stocking stuffer to get the grandkids and the children in your family that are in school. There you go. Look her up, pause it, take the video back, watch this over again, support your own. On for something positive. Share that. Stop sharing ignorance, man. We understand that people are doing ignorant things. Y'all. Stop clicking ignorance. Stop sharing ignorance. Stop supporting it. Change your algorithm. You know how they tell you this, that most phones give you this notice that says, Google would like to track your activity across this website. They understand what what you're clicking, what you're watching. But yeah, so why not get this? Let's push that agenda. Let's think about that. Because as we get stronger, we're going to be able to do these things at the mall. All right? As we become stronger, as we already have, as we have much support from very powerful people. And I appreciate all of it. Right. They couldn't stop this within our right. Oh, yeah, they couldn't stop that. Yes. They couldn't stop the school, so they can't stop us from getting a coding device into the school for the kids as well. All right. So, like I said, going back to the main show, does being poor lead to poor decisions? I just think the poor man's mentality is more vicious. Like I said, it goes back to awareness, and it's the same thing. And as far as smash and grab, like I said, there's something that America has created by promoting all of these extravagant things. I'm just saying, as a result of that, and then you have all these conditions that you haven't addressed, so people want it. Every commercial is pushing something. Everyone's traveling. Everyone's riding this nice car. People that can't afford it, on a Memphis income, you can't get all of those things that you see people living and using on social media. So a young man or a young woman's mentality is, how can I get it by any means necessary? But we need that same energy towards something positive. But it's just all about being aware of what it could do, of what it could be, right? And I'll touch on that in a second. But yeah, we get into the last story of the day. Young Ja Morant. And this is also about awareness, right? Ja Morant is on trial. And it makes me cringe just seeing it. I know he did some things. He's a young man. He did some things. He's guilty of it. But I don't think he deserved, like I said, this treatment. I understand the whole back-breaking technique. You know, we're going to break your back. And that's what's going on with him, pretty much, if you ask me. Put the man on trial, and then it's like, this man is a professional basketball player. I'm about to play the clip. I don't want it to be too choppy. One of the attorneys said, was it a chest pass? Okay. They brought an actual basketball to the courtroom and told Ja Morant to make a chest pass. This man gets paid millions of dollars to make chest passes, right? So to belittle him is saying, all right, do it. Imagine a doctor, a surgeon who makes less than Ja Morant, right? Having to perform a surgery just to show people how he uses his scalpel. That man makes hundreds of thousands of dollars to use his scalpel. That's making a mockery of what he does. And that's exactly what they're doing. The old back-breaking technique, right? But we got to read a little to know what's really happening. Are we aware? And more importantly,
Less than a week before his return, a 25-game suspension, Memphis Grizz star Ja Morant goes to court today. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock. Greg has the night off. Morant was on the defense during a hearing tied to a lawsuit after a fight at his home during a pickup basketball game with a teenager. WREG's Alex Coleman tells us what Morant and attorneys representing the teen had to say in court.
It wasn't on the basketball court, but inside Shelby County Circuit Court, where Memphis Grizzlies and NBA star Ja Morant took the stand.
And do you recall where it hit you?
Left side of my face.
Did it hurt?
I mean, yeah.
Did it feel good?
Nah.
Were you surprised?
Yeah.
For the first.
Does this sound like an actual trial of anything serious? But I know it has our attention. But it has our attention because he's one of our own. And he represents Memphis for the time being. He plays in Memphis. He's a Memphis player. But you know all the issues he's had. But what did he hit you? Did it hurt? Come on. They're just making – this is a real circus event in court. Check this out, though.
First time Morant talking publicly about a 2022 pickup basketball game that led to a fight against then 17-year-old Joshua Holloway and a lawsuit, and demonstrating what he says happened that day.
When you threw the ball to Mr. Holloway, where
Yeah,
did
his
it hit?
chest. Yeah, he caught it by his chest.
Is that where a tech ball should be placed?
It's a chest pass.
Morant and his attorneys say Holloway threw a basketball at the NBA star, hitting him on the chin. Holloway's attorneys has called Morant's claims a Hail Mary.
Pull this short, so where I'm from, that's fighting standards.
Does he take a step toward you?
Yes.
The trial, which is expected to last for several days, will also address whether or not Morant is immune from liability under Tennessee's Stand Your Ground law. Alex Coleman, WREG-TV, News Channel 3.
Morant's dad, T. Morant, also testified today. He, along with other family members and friends, are scheduled to be back in court tomorrow.
Man is on trial for a fist fight with a teenager. I understand it's crazy, but man, this what is going on? I mean, just watch the company you keep, Ja. I mean, nobody's in defense of anything, any bad decision he made or whatever, but come on, bro. To take the man through all of this and to be sued by your own. Just go ahead, pay him, John, settle out of court. And yeah, it's just a distraction. It's all a distraction. But, you know, it's Memphis Over Bull, and it was relevant. But I also want us to be aware. I don't think, is John Morant aware of his influence and his power? That's why I think it went with the theme of the show. I don't think he's aware of who he is and what they're doing and why they're doing it and what he should be doing with that influence and that power. And if you keep putting yourself in these type of situations, they're going to continue to make a complete mockery out of you and everything that you represent as a grown man who, for the most part, hasn't done anything harmful to anybody. It's just, I just think we have to make him aware, though, right? It would be nice. Maybe he'll watch See the Mob, you know, someday. But we're always in support of Ja. You know, we all make mistakes. But we have to be aware that when we make these mistakes, how we're viewed, right? And there's a player in Oklahoma City has done something far worse than Ja could ever do. I wonder why this hasn't gotten any national attention, really. But that has nothing to do with Memphis. It has more so to do with the what they focus on in this country, right? So yeah, it all comes down to morals, right? So yeah, before I get out of here, I want everyone to know, yeah, to anyone that's viewing this, that I've got some guests coming in the next couple of weeks. I will be in contact with you all. Yeah, it'll be a great things coming on. We're working on a lot of great things. Yeah, it was so much. I'm gonna say this last statement. It was so much that went on in Memphis this week that but we had other stories to cover. So like I said, it's getting to a point where it's kind of hard to keep this within 1 hour every week. So it might, like I said, I've been saying it for a while that we're gonna try to up it. But yeah, we might have to add another show, add another 30 minutes or something, a little short clip, because man, the news is a lot of relevant things coming. But it might not be the mob, the actual mob, but we're working on things. We're working on things. And make sure you all, shout out to my team, Run Memphis. Run Memphis. I always say that because I want to put it in your head. You'll see the red hats, you'll see the red t-shirts. You all know what we've already done. And make sure you all support WLOK. It's his first Black-owned radio station. And my good friend Dr. Brooks over there, talking some great things about the community. Great news, great just everything for fathers and just what we need more of. More of this. And helping out. They have cookouts, they have everything. And I think they have an event that's weekly. And yeah, I told you all about that last week. So yeah, Dr. Brooks, WLOK, just support y'all anyway, something positive. And yeah. Oh yeah, I want to address this statement too. I want to get to this. So when will Black parents come together and fund a true Black history program? Good question. I think many of us in here are parents. This would be a great start. We could do it here. We got enough people here who watch this show to get something going, get great things going. But it's all about what we care about, because I'll be there with colors on. All right? So I want to thank you all for coming through, checking out the mob. We'll be back next Wednesday, 6 p.m. live, streaming on all networks, all platforms. Till then, it's the mob. And we out.